Many people are saying that nowadays a lot of men don't want to get married anymore. And if you think about it, there are some reasons. If I were a man, I'd be afraid of getting married too. Let's do a quick calculation. The bride price is usually about $14,000. A pair of wedding rings, a bracelet, bangles, and similar items valued at approximately $7,000. A wedding banquet after subtracting the cash gifts still costs around $14,000. Not even considering buying a house, assuming the family already has one, the wedding home still needs to be renovated. Even if it's done on the cheap, renovations would still cost about $28,000. So, without even factoring in the later expenses of having children and other costs, just getting married can easily cost around $63,000. I originally never planned to get married in this lifetime, but now at 3 a.m. I am here coaxing my child to sleep. So what is it like when people who fear marriage suddenly become parents? I'm a typical post-90s non-marriage advocate. Every time I go home, my relatives take turns pressuring me. If you don't get married soon, you'll end up spending your life alone. Our generation's choice not to marry isn't because we don't want it, but because we're too clear-eyed. A single month's salary has to fight against bride price, mortgage payments, work stress, and the cost of raising children. For many of us, marriage isn't a haven, it's a deeper trap. In China, the groom giving a bride price to the bride's family is part of the traditional marriage custom, symbolizing his sincere intention to marry her. However, nowadays, the amount of the bride price has become a significant hurdle to entering marriage. In some regions, bride prices can easily reach hundreds of thousands of RMB, which discourages many men, especially in cities with high housing prices and high living costs. As a result, more and more men choose to remain unmarried or delay marriage, believing that the cost of marriage is too high and not worth it. Some women do not actively demand a high bride price, but are pressured by their families, ultimately falling into the anxiety of being unable to get married themselves. How competitive is Beijing's dating market? Girls born after 1995 don't want a house, don't want a car, and don't even want a bride price, and now older women from other regions are truly panicking. There's a 32-year-old woman from out of town who stayed in Beijing to work after graduating from university there. She dated her ex-boyfriend, a Beijing local, for 6 years. His parents both held minor leadership positions at their workplaces, and the two had been classmates in graduate school. The woman works in a public institution, while the man is a civil servant. Because the woman's family asked for a bride price of $42,000 when discussing marriage, the man refused. Blogger Li Jia said that after the breakup, the woman gave the man the cold shoulder for more than a month. She initially thought that in a few days he would come back to reconcile with her. But unexpectedly, shortly after they broke up, many people started introducing potential partners to the man. Later, the man began dating a Beijing woman who works at a state-owned enterprise. She is an only child and owns both a house and a car in her name. The man's entire family was very pleased with her. At first, the man felt a bit sad after the breakup, thinking it was a pity since they had been together for so many years. However, after dating his new girlfriend for 6 months, both families met and they decided to get married. When the ex-girlfriend heard about this, she regretted it deeply. She approached the man stating that she had thought it through, no longer wanted a bride price, and even persuaded her parents. However, the man firmly refused, no matter what. In the comments section, some netizens said that in Beijing, it's generally not customary to ask for a bride price. Girls in big cities usually don't expect one, while parents in smaller towns are more likely to request it. A Shanghai blogger named Little Sesame shared her blind date experience. The man she met was the same age as her, and they had both completed their undergraduate studies in Nanjing. Because she had previously encountered men on blind dates who weren't even willing to pay for a single drink, this time she arranged to meet the man at Century Park, where they could walk and chat. They ended up talking for more than 2 hours. As we talked, I felt that his anxiety about survival outweighed his anxiety about relationships and marriage. For example, he told me that he works at a state-owned enterprise, poor but stable, and that he actually wanted to start a business to earn more money. He even asked me if I had any suggestions. Honestly, I couldn't give him much advice because I also have my survival anxiety. The most I could do was offer him some emotional support. Plus, he felt that money is a man's source of confidence. If he had money, he could feel more self-assured. The female blogger felt that their conversation went quite well and that they interacted naturally. She could relate to his feelings because she had also worked at a state-owned enterprise, poor but stable. Both of them were highly educated, yet they shared a sense of helplessness, wondering why, despite their high education, they couldn't earn much money. Sometimes they questioned why people with less education could make so much, and what the point of all their studying had been. She sensed that the man wasn't actively trying to move the relationship forward, but was focused on thinking about how to make money and start a business. The blogger was considering whether she should take the initiative or continue dating to see how things would go. Never get involved with so-called older leftover women. You must listen carefully. As a seasoned matchmaker, I can responsibly tell you that this is a group of people who are extremely materialistic, overly self-satisfied, filled with all kinds of toxic self-help ideas and harboring empty fantasies. If you dare to get close, you'll find that their age is actually the least of the problems. Not only can they drive you mad, but their words and behavior are extremely childish and extremely arrogant. Would you consider marrying someone who earns $700 a month? What can you even do with $700? You're being funny. Isn't it true that most men don't earn more than $700? Aren't there many whose average income is below $700? Does that mean they shouldn't get married? If he only earns $700, does that mean I have to support him? Isn't marriage supposed to be about two people working hard together? $700, that can't be enough. What kind of guy do you want to find? At the very least, he should earn $1,400 or more. Otherwise, what can he do? If he only makes $700, he can't even support himself. After marriage, there's also helping parents and raising children. $700 is fine for dating, but not for marriage. Xiao Min, a migrant worker in Beijing, said she's almost unable to get married because she's already 34 years old. I had planned that this year I would find someone and get married, but now it's already August and in just a few months it'll be the new year. I feel like there's no hope for me again this year. I'm increasingly aware that once a woman past 30, it's tough to find a partner. Nowadays, men all seem to like girls in their 20s, yet I keep deceiving myself, turning on beauty filters and skin smoothers, thinking I still look like I'm in my 20s. But at my age, I really have no right to be picky anymore. The ones with good conditions aren't interested in me, and the men around my age think I'm too old to have children. Xiao Min said that if she hasn't married herself off before 35, she may really have to bow to reality and accept that she's destined to grow old alone. Once you're past 25 or 26, you may realize that relying on yourself to find a partner is hard. We're all just ordinary people, and your social circle is only so small. You could probably count the people you know on your fingers. On the top of that, everyone is busy with work and life every day. You're either at the office or at home, living a routine that goes back and forth between just two places, leaving very little time to meet new people. By the time you're 27 or 28, your parents might be constantly pressuring you, and by then, you might not be able to withstand the pressure and just settle for someone to marry. The blogger said that it's best to look for a partner early so as not to miss the right person. Some netizens commented that relationships are sometimes like flowers in a season. If you miss the right moment, you may never see the same scenery again. However, others said that while acting early is essential, there's no need to be overly anxious. The right person will appear sooner or later. A matchmaker lamented that older single women are very hard to deal with. She mentioned that a woman had recently asked her to introduce someone. The woman was 35 years old, from Guangzhou, working as a receptionist at a private company with a monthly salary of $1,000, and she looked pretty attractive. The matchmaker introduced her to a man 1 year younger who worked for the Guangzhou Metro Company, earned $1,400 a month, and owned 2 apartments. The two arranged to meet in person. The man treated the woman to dinner and thoughtfully walked her home afterward. After the meeting, the man found the woman quite lovely, but she was not satisfied with him and asked the matchmaker to tell the boy not to contact her again. But after the meeting, the woman complained to me, saying that while the man looked decent, his financial situation was far too poor, only $1,400 a month, and the car he drove had an out-of-town license plate. The wedding apartment was in Huidu, which she felt was a bit too far out. In short, his conditions were too poor, and she just wanted a match for her. I said to her, "You're already 35 years old, can't you be less picky? This man genuinely wants to date you and marry you, and you don't have that many options to choose from." She told me, if I could accept a man with conditions like that, I would have married a long time ago. I wouldn't still be single now.
94年的，今年应该31了。
I was born in 1994, so I'm 31 this year. I don't know if any of you have ever felt anxious about dating and marriage, but over the past year, I've started to feel a bit uneasy. From last year to this year, I've been going on blind dates, but I keep failing again and again. Every time I go on a blind date, it doesn't work out, and I'm not sure why. Each time, I feel like the other person is quite lovely, but by the next day, there's no further contact. For example, I thought this guy was pretty good and left me with a nice impression. But after dinner he asked me, "Where do you want to go? Do you want to find a small bar and have a drink or something?" I said I didn't feel like it. I wanted to go home and ride my bike or something. The blogger said it might have been because she'd been under a lot of work pressure lately and didn't feel like going out. Plus, she doesn't drink, never has. The man then asked, "Well, is there anything else you'd like to do?" And she replied no. She didn't actually think the guy was bad, she just wanted to go home and ride her bike. She could sense that he felt a bit disappointed, but she's also not good at chatting with men, which leaves her feeling troubled. I finally understand why women's standards are so high these days. Haven't short videos and mini dramas been incredibly popular in recent years? Just this afternoon, I scrolled through some, and oh my goodness, what I saw were stories like, "The domineering CEO fell in love with me, a divorced woman with 2 kids. The domineering CEO fell in love with me who owns nothing. The domineering CEO fell in love with me, dirt poor. The domineering CEO fell in love with me even though I'm menopausal. The domineering CEO spoiled me to the heavens. The domineering CEO fell in love with me, a penniless nobody," and so on and so on. The blogger said that in these mini-dramas, the domineering CEO showers the woman with all kinds of gifts, buying her a house, a car, a diamond ring, clothes. In short, he loves her madly to the point of obsession. But this kind of thing doesn't exist in real life. Older single women, it's time to wake up. Back to the topic of older single women, many of them still think they can find a domineering CEO. I have a question. If you hadn't met a domineering CEO at 18, do you think you would have met one by 38? What, did the CEO suddenly go blind and find you at 38? In the first 30 plus years of your life, how many domineering CEOs have you met? Honestly, a 1.85 meter tall domineering CEO is nothing but a fantasy. Blogger Ju Urga said that the reason many women stay single is that they want to find a handsome, wealthy, domineering CEO. But such CEOs only exist in TV dramas and are extremely rare in real life. Their so-called ideal partner is nothing more than an unattainable illusion. Why do some women fantasize about a domineering CEO falling in love with them, an older single woman? Some women are already in their 30s, have low education levels, and earn only $500 a month, yet they keep daydreaming about a CEO falling for them. But with those conditions, if you're looking for someone high quality, you simply won't find it. Think about it, if your son was raised with care, graduated from a prestigious university, had a stable and promising career, would you want him to marry an older single woman who has nothing and spends her days fantasizing about a domineering CEO falling in love with her? Why have I been single for 6 or 7 years and still can't find a partner? Do you all think that women like me only go for tall, handsome men from well-off families? It's not like what you imagine. I'm pretty rational. Those tall and handsome guys, do you like them? Honestly, yes, but they're not suitable to be husbands. Even though their conditions are excellent, they have too many beautiful women around them and face too much temptation. An average girl like me couldn't hold on to them. Blogger Xiao Min said she prefers men around 1.75 meters tall, with stable jobs, clean-cut looks, and well-aligned values. But she has never found someone who meets those criteria. She asked in confusion, "Tell me, do you think my standards are too high?" I'm 30 this year and am considered an older single woman. I work in Beijing and my looks are pretty decent. I went on a blind date with a guy who left me completely speechless. He's 3 years younger than me, works in IT, and earns $1,100 a month. People say a woman 3 years older is like holding a golden brick, so they encourage me to meet him. When we met, I noticed he was pretty tall, about 1.75 meters. After chatting for a bit, I found him to be lively, humorous, and witty, likely the kind of guy who excels at everyday conversation. I thought to myself, wow, I came to the right place this time. Blogger Happy Jaw was initially delighted with the man, but then he made a few requests that left her stunned. So what exactly did he ask for? The man said, 1. He likes women wearing high heels, so he hopes that after marriage she can wear them. 2. He said she must not stay out all night. Happy Joe replied, "That shouldn't be a problem. Where else would I be at night if not at home?" 3. He asked how much savings she had, saying he hoped she could contribute money to buy a house together. 4. Within a year after marriage, he wanted to have a child and hoped she would stay home to take care of the family and raise the child. Regarding the last request, Happy Joe felt it was a bit strange. She told the man, "You've said too much. I can't digest it all right now. Let's end the conversation here for today." When the man saw she was about to get up and leave, he asked, "Can we meet again tomorrow?" Happy Joe replied, "Sorry, I don't think we're a good match," and then left. One netizen commented, with a salary of $1,100 still wanting to buy a house and expecting the woman to stay home and take care of the family, where's the money supposed to come from? If it weren't for the need to continue the family line, 90% of men wouldn't be eager to pursue women. Many men have told me that they're not happy being with women. They'd honestly rather hang out with their buddies, eating, drinking, and getting massages. I want to ask all the men out there, is it really like that? Have men collectively given up now? Those with houses and cars spend their days fishing, camping, making bracelets, and socializing with their buddies. Those without houses or cars play video games, raise cats, and even joke to themselves. I can't get married anyway, so I might as well be a happy homebody. Even with parents pressuring them to marry, it doesn't faze them. While women are getting anxious and stamping their feet, men seem like they've taken early retirement and have started enjoying being single. Why does having a child need so much money? Your cousin earns only $500 a month and he still has kids, doesn't he? I don't want my child to start life with cheap formula or low-quality diapers. I don't want them to grow up 7 or 8 years old without ever visiting paid amusement parks, only being able to ride the coin-operated rides on special occasions. And when they do buy new clothes or shoes, they are always the size of 3 years from now. I have no right to judge my cousin's life, but if I cannot provide my child with a relatively comfortable material environment, I will not bring them into this world. Just eating, that's all. The quality of leftover men is inferior these days, but the quality of leftover women is generally excellent. Many women are struggling to find a partner. For example, a woman with an intense career struggles to find a man who truly appreciates her. Because China's mate selection system is based on a sloping hierarchy, men will inevitably seek a woman who is slightly inferior to them in all aspects, but who can offer them emotional value. And what about women? They also hope to find a man who is a little better than themselves, but such men are scarce. Ordinary men don't chase after leftover women. The reason these women remain single is that they have 3 major skills. 1. They have high standards but low ability. Despite their income of $420, they expect a man to earn $4,200 a month. 2. Stubbornness. They have no princess status, yet suffer from princess syndrome. 3. Selfishness. Even as their age increases, their standards never drop, as if this issue has nothing to do with them. Frankly, when someone is this selfish towards themselves, who would dare take on that package? That's all for today. If you enjoy our content, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with a friend. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.